Hi, this is the Teaserking coming to you with the 2011 football season. This is just an overview of college football, how I view it, how I come up with who are we going to look for and play this year, why do we play certain games and conferences and things like that. What I do, first of all, is I look at new quarterbacks versus experienced quarterbacks. You have teams like in Iowa who lost Ricky Stanzi to the pros. I think he got drafted. So they have to start an inexperienced quarterback. I look at this as a very good way of a play against, especially when they go on the road. Their second game is at Iowa State, for example. Now, if Iowa State has an experienced quarterback, and Iowa's favored by 7 or 8 points, I would look at Iowa State plus the points saying, well, they got a new quarterback, he's on the road, he's probably going to throw some interceptions, they'll probably be conservative in the play calls, they're probably not going to blow them out. So I break it into two categories. The first category is teams that have the quarterbacks that are either juniors or seniors, returning, they've been there a few years. For example, Kellen Moore would be a perfect example at Boise State. I mean, this guy's already phenomenal, and now you got him for a senior year. He's lost his 2 receivers, but he's got his running back, and I'm sure the other receivers, it seems to be a very easy position in college to bring up another guy, or I'm sure they had more than 2 last year, even though the 2 went into the pros. I'm sure they use 4 and 5 receiver sets, so that shouldn't be a real big deal. The key is the running backs also back. So I look for a team like Boise with Kellen Moore to keep running the table, keep covering the 20-30 point spreads. In converse, TCU, who's a very, very good team year in and year out, loses Andy Dalton, this senior quarterback who, I think he won 40 games. I'm just throwing it off the top of my head. But I know he won a ton of games in the 4 years he was there. He's a 4-year starter. But I remember when he started, I bet against him as a freshman because he was a new quarterback. And they lost 2 or 3 games that first year. Look at last year, BYU with Heaps, the quarterback, #1 quarterback in the country. And they struggled their first 5 or 6 weeks. So with TCU this year, it's a new quarterback. I'll research, is he a freshman or like a senior? It's not as painful if he's a senior coming in and you got him for the year. But if he's a freshman or a sophomore with no experience, that's a red flag. It's hard to lay a lot of points because they're not going to open the offense up. On the road, if they're favored, it's very hard to play them. You almost want to play the other team in the points just because they're going to play low scoring. They're going to play more defense, low scoring. It's just they don't open the offense. They can't trust the quarterback. Now, this is like the first 2-3 weeks of the year. Then you look at it and see if they've proven it. If TCU plays, for example, Utah in game 2 or 3, and I don't know the schedule, I'm just putting out there a scenario. And they go to Utah and they beat them, they put up 30 points, okay, now the guy's proven his worth, now you bet TCU again. But if he goes to, let's say, Colorado State and they win 17-14, then I got to worry about their quarterback is any good or he's okay, but they're not going to lay 20-25 points like they've been doing the last 2 years and covering. So what I understand on the line is it's a popularity contest, but the public's always late to the party. They'll still bet TCU, they'll still bet the bigger names. Texas, Michigan are overspread just because of the popularity. So it takes a while for the public to realize, hey, this is a new quarterback, he's a freshman, we can't lay 14 points anymore. So you wait till the line gets adjusted. So the first probably 3 weeks you can get some big steals in the lines. They're not adjusted, they're based on last year. The quarterback's gone, some big running backs are gone, the defense is gone, whatever it is on each team. So conversely, you look for the senior quarterbacks. Michigan State has Kirk Cousins. Even Michigan with Denard Robinson, I'm a little bit worried about, because it was just a spread offense. Now you're asking him to run probably more of a pro set. Well, from what I saw last year, when he had to drop back and pass in the pocket, he was terrible. He threw all these interceptions at the goal lines. He was not a good drop back passer. He's a good kind of runner passer. He's like Michael Vick used to be. You know, he could run really fast, but when you really want him to quarter, he couldn't do it. Now Michael Vick's a very good quarterback, but that's just an assertion there. So we'll see. That's the other thing I wanted to get to. So you play the senior quarterbacks who have been there for a while, a Kirk Cousins, a Kellen Moore at Boise, Andrew Luck at Stanford, all these quarterbacks that have been there. You just keep riding them because it's college and they'll rip them apart. Landry Jones at Oklahoma. When you get to these new quarterbacks, you bet against them because, you know, you just don't know. It's an unproven commodity. It's going to take them 4 or 5 weeks. The Jake Heaps, who are now at BYU for a year, now the second year, that you can play a little bit more. He's learned the system. He's had the year to learn it. He's played 7 or 8 games. Those are the up-and-comers who aren't seniors yet, but they've played before. They're not inexperienced. Now you can start betting those, laying 7 or 8 points with them. They'll come up. The other thing is the coaching. You have a lot of coaches that have changed. You've got Ohio State. You've got Florida. You've got North Carolina. You've got Michigan. So there tends to be the players have to adjust to the new coach. So you got to be aware of that. I would lay away from Ohio State. I'd lay away from North Carolina. I love North Carolina this year with their defense, but you know, how do you play them? I mean, you got to watch them. If they're okay, the new coach comes in and they start winning, then it's fine. But you got to give it, I'd say, 3 or 4 weeks of adjustment, where you're basically just watching the coach and seeing how he's doing. Ohio State was great against the spread. They're probably 80% against the spread in a teaser for the last 5-6 years. So all of a sudden you can't play them because, you know, coach isn't there. So it becomes, you have to watch for the new coaches, see how they adjust. Normally that first year they do a lot of losing. Stanford will be a tricky one with Harbaugh leaving. The assistant took over. He seems to be okay. I don't think he'll change Andrew Luck. So it could be a wash. You'll watch them. They'll probably be very good, but that first 3 or 4 weeks is going to be a tell. Oregon did good with Chip Kelly, but the first couple of games he had problems, but now he's fine. So you get that proof once the coach kind of is established. If he's from within and he doesn't really change the systems, it's probably a better fit. He'll probably do better quicker. If he comes in and he has to change, a la Rich Rodriguez at Michigan and now Brady Hoke at Michigan, you're in for a little bit of, you know, maybe half a year where they're adjusting, maybe a year where they're adjusting. So definitely, if you can have consistency in quarterback and defense and coaching, it definitely makes a difference. There's a lot of teams with new quarterbacks this year, so I will inform you of that. I haven't gotten there yet. This is just an overview of what I'm looking at. Quarterback is key in college. It really allows you to open the offense up, score, and that allows you to play better defense. And allows the coach to make more mistakes and, you know, adjust to the players. Anyway, that's kind of what I look at. I also look at if a large senior class is gone. Take a look at Auburn. Cam Newton's gone this year. I mean, they're not a good team. Now, if they start laying 15, 20 points in the beginning because they used to be good last year, forget about it. You're not, you know, don't lay the points. You know, watch out for Auburn. Oregon, on the other hand, has their quarterback back, has their running back back, has the coach back. They should still blow out most teams like they did last year. That shouldn't really change. So you got to watch the graduation. That's key. Senior teams are key. That's basically it. So it's quarterback, coach, senior team, changes. It's really big in college football. And that's basically what I base it on, especially the first month. I'm going to play heavily against these new quarterbacks. There's the ACC, the Big East. It's like just huge amount of new quarterbacks. Just play against them all day. They're not going to do very well. And then keep an eye on the new coaches. So my next video, I'll walk down all the senior quarterbacks and all the freshman quarterbacks by team and the coaching changes. So we'll have a better flavor of really what it is. But this is just an overview. This is how we pick the game, how I pick the games, just me, how I pick the games early in the year in college. Pros are a different apple, and with all the free agency in the pros, we'll take a look at that later. I'm still waiting for that to get all washed out. Anyway, this is the Teaser King. You can get me at www.teaserking.com. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. Go to my site. You can comment me here, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. If you have any comments on the games or any questions on the games, just go to the website and you'll see my email, and you can leave me an email. You can leave me a response here. I'll be posting a lot more games by conference this year, and I'll explain why I do so many picks. I basically base it on each conference, and there's always a strong and weak team, and you can go through the conferences and play Ohio State, play Alabama, play USC or Stanford, play Oklahoma, and then you're going to bet against the weak teams. So you just look at all the conferences. There's I can come up with 8-9 games right away, just because of one or two in each conference. So that's why I play so many games. Once I've got the theory of playing the best team, playing against the weak team, you just pop into a conference and you're going to play TCU, you're going to play Utah, you're going to play against New Mexico, you're going to play against New Mexico State. So it just works a lot like that. Anyway, have a great day. Again, I'm Howard, Teaser King, www.teaserking.com. I look forward to conversing with you, helping you with any picks and trends and anything like that that you have a question on. Please feel free to question, comment, email, anything you like. Have a great day. Take care.